Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. I'm letting everybody have the chance to hop on.
Hello, hello.
Scoot it over that, like,
Okay.
yeah. Good morning. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Amy. Hi, Mickey.
Thank y'all so much for being with us. If you're getting to watch this live, or if you are watching it later this afternoon, the evening, or the next couple of days. Connie says she's wearing all black.
But in fairness, it is Halloween, so
That's true. Could have nothing to do with us.
she might be dressed as a witch.
If by any chance you were stumbling across this today and like, who is this? What is going on? My name's David Radke. This is Melissa Radke. We have done the Radke Show. The last couple of months, it's been Monday through Thursday, but for the last several years, over 5 years, we have done this morning show pretty much Monday through Friday, and a little between 12 and 1,300 episodes we figured up. And this morning is our last official morning of the Radke Show. Not that you'll still be able to find Melissa, especially. I'm just kind of the sidekick. You'll find Melissa on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. You've got a chance to keep up with her in her emails. There's a link in the copy above that says Stay in the Know. Make sure you sign up for that so you'll know all the exciting stuff coming up with a new podcast, with a new book Melissa has next year. So we aren't going anywhere, but just in a different time slot. So
That's right. We are not dressed up for Halloween. Okay, I know that y'all are disappointed, but here's the deal. I said to myself, because it's our last day, do we shock them? And because we have never in 5 years dressed up for Halloween, except for the one time we dressed like each other. Because we are, y'all, here's the deal. Do I order a lot of stuff from Amazon? Absolutely. Is my TikTok cart well over $300 right now? Okay, that's why it's just in the cart. I ain't purchased it. But we don't do Halloween, and it has nothing to do with what's that your religious belief? Nope. You can dress up like Scream for all I care. I don't want to spend money on something I am going to wear one time. That makes no logical sense to me. Now, granted, yesterday Remy was needing a wig and she didn't have one. And so I said, call my friend Ashley, who has a vat full of old costumes and wigs. So I guess you could do that, keep them and then reuse them and get, whatever. But I just I've never really gotten into it. And there was that one year the one year that David and I went to a Halloween party and we won. We won. They had a Halloween costume contest. We won. And I walked in with a black shirt on, big pregnant belly, and my makeup was super, super pale. And I had crime tape wrapped all around me. Do not enter crime tape. And then he walked in with a Gone Fishing shirt on, and he had colored his hair blonde, sprayed it. And we won that one for sure. Because we were Scott and Lacey Peterson.
in retrospect, it was a little too
tasteful.
soon. It was a little too soon.
In retrospect, but you know what? I don't believe in looking backwards. I say don't look in that rearview mirror. You just look forward. No need to know what you did in the past that's wrong. But we did win. And it was shocking to a lot of people. Not that we won, but the dress in general. It was shocking. But, that's what we do. If we're going to pull out the stops, we're going to pull out the stops. Okay.
If we were a little bit older, we probably would have dressed up as some Menendez brothers.
We absolutely would have. Y'all, speaking of that, I go and get my hair done. So is it okay? I guess what I'm trying to say is it okay that David and I are doing this last one like very normal, like it's always been? Is that okay? We don't have anything special planned. What if every person who had ever been a guest on our show started like, oh, yes, you do. And then they just started walking out behind us like, da, 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 da. Okay. Speaking of the Menendez brothers, the other day I was getting my hair colored. I'm sitting in her chair, we're talking. And she says, my husband and I just really aren't into dressing up. We went to a Halloween party this past week. And she said, he dressed up as a cowboy. And she said, which was very easy for him because that's all he wears is cowboy stuff. And she said, and I think I went as a nurse, you know. And we got to talking about it. And I told her about Scott and Lacey Peterson, the time we dressed up as Scott and Lacey Peterson. Would you like to know what she said?
Who's that?
She said, I cannot think of who that is. And I said, hey, don't ask me to do math on the spot, right? And I went, oh gosh, that would have been, I don't even know, would that have been like 2001? I don't even remember what the year was that I said, but it would have been around that.
Yeah, probably.
And she went, oh, yeah, I don't know who that is. I was born that year. No, look, I know I'm old and I know she's young. Okay? Her whole life is ahead of her. But y'all, Scott and Lacey Peterson is like such a significant moment in culture. And she said, I vaguely remember like hearing the name. And she goes, but I was born that year. So I said, speaking of moments in culture, so you do know, like, if you like true crime and stuff like that, because that's what we heard and I have been talking about, then you do know, like, one of the biggest of the century is, like, John Benet Ramsey. And she goes, I have no clue who you're talking about. Can y'all imagine meeting a person and touching them and knowing they're real, but they don't know who John Benet is? She has no idea. She said that she was, I'll tell you where she's been, in her mother's room. She said that some people at the costume party had dressed up like the Menendez brothers. They had on like 80s tracksuits and stuff. And she's like, I thought that was so funny, but I didn't know who they were. Like I had to go and look it up. And then I ended up watching the Netflix show. That is just absolutely crazy to me. Speaking of true crime and Netflix shows and all that, so they are making one. I may have told y'all this already. God knows if I have. Chris Young will tell me. I've already said it. That y'all do know that they are making a documentary or a movie about the John Benet Ramsey. Did I tell y'all who is playing John and who is playing Patsy?
I don't remember.
I haven't told you? Oh my gosh, I get so excited when I get to tell something. They are making a movie. And nowadays you don't know is the movie a streaming movie? Is it an Apple TV movie? Is it a movie at the theater? I don't know. Christina Barnes, I can't get through it. Anyway.
What? Couldn't get through it?
She said I couldn't get through Monsters on Netflix. And I was like, I can't get through it either.
That's the Mendez?
Mm-hmm. Menendez. You always say Mendez. It's Menendez.
The poor Mendez brothers, they have been messed over their entire lives. We're not the Menendez.
Menendez. We're just Mendez.
We're just Mendez.
Okay?
Leave us alone.
We literally work down the road at the American Flag Factory. Anyway, there is going to be a movie made about the John Benet Ramsey case. Are y'all ready? Clive Owen is playing John Ramsey. And I can see it. I can see that. Clive Owen, he's such a great actor. And John Ramsey was a wealthy looking, he wasn't a hot mama, but he was a, fairly nice looking man. Patsy, Melissa McCarthy.
I don't see that at all.
Melissa McCarthy
I'm not
is
saying she won't be
playing
able to act it,
Patsy.
but she doesn't favor her, I guess.
Okay, they can do anything nowadays. And
That'd be like Colin Farrell playing the penguin or something.
David's just, I know. You don't see it, but they can make anybody look like anybody. And so I'm very interested. And I think I can see Melissa pulling that off. I've seen her in some roles that are not necessarily funny, and she's great.
Yeah, but most of those are the movies her husband produces.
She's great in them. So, anyway, Clive Owen as John Ramsey, Melissa McCarthy as Patsy Ramsey. You heard it here, everybody. What news you got to bring me?
What are you breaking?
I'm asking you.
Oh, me?
Look at me delving up all this information for everybody.
Oh.
Giving them what they want on a Thursday morning. What
Should
you
be
got?
I don't know if I got nothing. I didn't watch the news this morning, so I didn't hear nothing.
Did you ever dress up as a child? Did you do anything as a child that would have been even sort of normal?
I played Office. Remember my mom and dad showed you that picture?
Yo, that's what he did. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know where that picture's at, but there's a picture of me like, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, something like that. And I was literally in my room playing Office.
And now he plays it every day.
Yes, I dressed up. I mean, when I was little, you know. But all I remember are those real flimsy plastic costumes, you know, that we put on over our clothes.
Oh, for sure.
You know, I was Batman.
And your face would just sweat behind them. Those were the... And nowadays, those would be terrifying on a child.
Yeah.
Like if you saw a child walking around with just like a plastic, like super dog mask, it would be absolutely terrifying. So my very first Halloween, I wore one of those plasticky clothes and then the little plastic mask that had the string. And if you break it, your night is over. If you break that string, you might as well just go home because you can't hold it up all night. And I was super dog. And I got very, very sick. We all went to McDonald's to eat. And I got very, very sick. And my mother felt my face. And it was like 103. And she said that my dad goes, well, take that mask off of her and let's see if it goes down. So I had a lot of fever. And I was had cold chills. But I was crying and crying and crying because it was my first little Halloween to go out with the little kids, you know. And my dad wrapped me up in a blanket and carried me in the pouring down rain. Carried me from door to door to door until he said I just fell asleep on his shoulder because I was so sick. Oh. But my mother was like, I didn't even get out of the car. There's a real shocker for us. I didn't even get out of the car. Your daddy pulled up to every house and just carried you in his arms. And that's when I knew that he was far more in love with you than he was with me. What are you doing?
I was reading.
Okay.
I was gonna get on my nerves.
Remy and Rocco went Rocco's never gonna go as anything ever. He doesn't care about Halloween. He's like his parents. Remy went yesterday and I put up that picture on the family app in the Radke family and said, hey, does anybody know what these kids are? Remy and her girlfriend, her bestie, went as a dynamic duo yesterday, and it was from a Saturday Night Live skit that she swears everybody knows who they are. I showed it to Meredith. Meredith had no clue. I don't know.
But Jilly knew.
Jilly knew, but Jilly's in 9th grade. Amy Roberry says she knew. But Tanya looked at it and said, I had no idea who they were. Oh, yeah, Amy Corey. Everybody had to like recycle something that they... The first Halloween, I was able to go out trick-or-treating with my friend. First one. I got egged in the face by a bunch of teenagers. Needless to say, I went home and cried all night. Oh my gosh, I would never let my child go out again. Amy said she knew who Remy and what is that girl's name?
Oh, Carly?
Carly.
Oh.
I can't ever think of her name. There are so many. I'm going to need y'all to stop naming your babies Kylies and Corleys and Kayleys and Keeleys and Carleys. Ugh. Oh, I got to tell y'all the funniest thing. I got this weird idea the other day to, you know her bestie. Okay, so Carly is not Remy's bestie. Carly is on the soccer team with Remy, and
She's
they
her
are
soccer bestie.
And they are it's her soccer bestie. You know how you have all that, like but when I'm in chemistry class, this is my chemistry bestie. Carly is her soccer bestie, and she's precious. But anyway, I got this weird idea the other day. On your phone, you can obviously on your text hit voice text, and it's your voice, and it'll write the words out. But there's another thing you can do on iPhone, and it's literally just record your voice and send it to your friend as a text message. Well, I got this idea the other day, and I sent it to my 2 groups of girls. My Steel Magnolias, which are all my girlfriends, my 4 close girlfriends in Nashville. They all still live in Nashville. And my Golden Girls, which are the 3 childhood besties. Okay, I have those 2 groups. And Janet got mad the other day, and she said, I don't understand why they have names, but we don't have a name. Me and you and Ashley. And so they said that they want to be designing women. They're the best dressed. They got careers. They're making it happen. Can we be designing women? I was like, I don't feel like this got the same ring to it, but anyway, I just got this idea, and I voice text the Steel Magnolias, and I said, hey y'all, we're gonna start doing this thing, and it's gonna go through our group, and it's gonna take on a life of its own. You can do it at any time, whenever you want, but it's you saying, so one time, a long time ago, and then you fill in the blank. So April, just one day when she's thinking about it, something that happened a long time ago about her, she's gonna pick up the phone, and she's gonna go, so this one time, a long time ago, okay? And y'all, it is essentially what it is your friends sharing secrets about themselves that they've never shared, or that they've shared and we don't remember. I have laughed my head off. So mine was this. So one time, a long time ago, I actually considered getting a Ford Flex. And I sent it to both of my groups. Now, some of you may drive a Ford Flex. If you do, just know I thought about getting one. But I would like for you to think of me driving a rectangle car. Can you see it? You can't see it. You can't see that. So I did it. Y'all, they have come back with stuff that I am dying laughing. And one of them said, so a long time ago, I not only looked into it, I went to a doctor for it and put down money on butt implants. Butt implants. You're trying to think of who it would be right now. And your first thought is, well, it's not Carrie, because God knows she doesn't need them. You're trying to think of who would get butt implants.
Well, it was a Steel Magnolia?
Do you see any of the Golden Girls getting butt implants?
No. I know exactly who it is.
Okay, so y'all do it. One time, a long time ago, ... fill in the blank right now. Tell me something off the wall, random, about you from a long time ago. Get it, Sheppy.
Is this real?
Get it, Sheppy. What? What is that? I've no idea what you're talking about.
About to have somebody walk in.
Who is it? I don't have a bra on.
Well, turn around and look.
Oh, sweet Lord in heaven.
I chatted with Zsa Zsa Gabor.
You did not. One time, a long time ago. No! Elaine, considered being a nun.
Ooh.
Okay, y'all, that is our cleaning lady, Janie. She will text me and say, I'll be there at 10. She will show up at 4 p.m. That's not a lie, okay? She will text me and say, hey, I'm not gonna be able to be there till noon today. We will see her at 7:15 on a Friday night, okay? She told me last week, hey, I'm gonna be there on Thursday because remember I'm going out of town for my birthday on Friday. So I'm gonna be there on Thursday, but I probably won't be there till about 10. It is 8:30 and she just pulled up. I'm telling you, you can't peg her down. You can't. But I adore her. I love her. Okay. One time, a long time ago, I wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. That's not a good one. Everybody says that. Everybody wanted to be that. I can't even lift my leg and I wanted to be it. One time, a long time ago, I wanted to be a forensic profiler for the FBI. Heck yeah, girl, you would have been good. One time, a long time ago, I went to George Strait's first #1 party. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I didn't know Denise was 80.
One time, a long time ago, I put a for sale sign in the high school front yard. Mickey, I can totally see it. One time, a long time ago, I dropped out of beauty school. Heather!
I wrote a song about you.
Beauty school dropout. One time, a long time ago, I had a rat tail and we bleached it with peroxide and tin foil. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Okay, that is hysterical. It's 9. Yes, Chris, the workers had a great laugh. I have a horrible memory. I just can't come up with stuff. My boss, Byron Hill, wrote the song. Maria Idle says, once a long time ago, I meant to text my sister that I am never going out with this guy again, but she accidentally texted him.
At least he knew.
Oh, I love it. What did Mary say? The workers had a great laugh. I don't see Mary's anywhere. No! Mary, no! She went to AutoZone to buy blinker fluid. Oh! That is hysterical. One time, a long time ago, I colored my hair green, all of it on purpose. Oh my gosh. One time, a long time ago, my senior high school girlfriends dared me to run around my house naked at night. They did it. They locked me out. Diane's, where's yours? Okay, I'm looking. Take the car.
You couldn't really do that. You couldn't do that anymore.
Take the car. What did that mean? Take the car. Take Janie's car? When you first, Jane, just write it again. I'm not gonna sit here and do that. Just write it out one more time. One time, a long time ago, I drove solo to Lufkin from Tampa for Melissa's weekend at the barn or something cute like that, and I called it Chasing Bravery.
Oh, she came to the social event?
Yeah, social event of the season. One time, a long time ago, I put candy hearts on a male teacher's desk, Valentine's, because she had a crush on him. Who would ever do that nowadays? And you know there have to be little girls who have crushes. Like, remember Remy? Last year? With the teacher that has the handlebar mustache.
Oh,
There's a teacher at Hudson and he's got a handlebar mustache.
She wasn't his teacher. He was just a teacher, yeah.
She had to be in detention, and she said it was his day to watch over everybody in detention, and she said everybody was sitting there on their phones and just like so bored, and she looked up at him and she said, so, you married? And he went, yes, Remy, your mother.
And you know my wife.
Yes, Remy, your mother sang at my wedding. And she goes, you talk about a turn off. Oh, Lord.
That was a pretty good one. Where'd it go? Tiffany, one time, a long time ago, her school let her perform Nasty Boys at the talent fair.
Nasty boys don't mean a thing All these nasty boys don't mean a thing to me. Oh, doo-doo-doo. Okay, one time, a long time ago, my friend and I would often take her parents' car and go on a joyride. They were 13. What was happening? First of all, that's first of all, and no offense to her, but if she was 13, that would have been in probably the 80s when she was 13. What was happening there? Who was our president during that time? Because I'm gonna tell you what, he passed 0 laws to keep us children safe. We were cutting our tongues on those super dog costumes. Shannon's getting egged in the head. Menendez brothers are killing people left and right. And she's out taking a car on a joyride. What was going on? There weren't seatbelts. We were laid up in the back of a car, like in the window area where you would bake in the sun. You'd get a burning tan because you were laid up in the back of a car. What is going on, America, back then? No, it was the early 60s. Oh, God. You know, it's a wonder you didn't get pregnant.
It's a wonder they can start the car. You know, you got to go to the front and crank it.
Okay, David, that was too far. It's okay to joke about. JFK was a president. Lord. Okay. Has everybody done their due diligence and voted? Have you done I was going to say your wifely duties. That's weird. Has everybody gone and voted? I did. And I'm going to tell y'all, they ushered me in and out so fast, it almost felt like a little bit like they wanted me to get out of there. They were like, yep, come on in. We know who she is. Mark her down. All right, let's go to the first one right over here. And I was like, okay, everybody, I'm not even sure how this is going to go down in my own head yet. Okay, so y'all are just get right in there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started.
Christina, if you wait till 11:05 to vote, you're going to be there a while.
Why?
The lines on the actual day of election.
Oh, for sure. That's why we early voted.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. Y'all know what I'm doing? I'm moving the shirt back and forth. It's not my head. It's not my head. All right. Alabama doesn't have early voting.
Oh, that's too bad.
Okay. Let me tell you something for someone who just said, I haven't early voted yet because I'm waiting for my kid to come back and then we're going to go do it together. Don't waste your time. Okay, don't waste your time. David thought he was going to do that too. We're going to wait. It's Remy's first time to vote. What if she has some questions? What if she's nervous? David said, I don't know how in the world she got ahead of me in line, but she did. And when I said to her, come back here with me, Remy, we'll go in together. She's like, no, I'm fine. He said, before I even got in there, she was done voting and walking out. She said, okay, I'll see you back at home. And never once did she tell us who she was voting for or ask us one single question. So I have a feeling on the part where it says you can write someone in that she wrote in Pete Davidson. Oh, David, I'm having a hot flash. Go get my fan, David. Go get it, David. Go get it. We're bringing it down to the end, David, and I'm going to get emotional. I'm going to get hot. Even hotter than I am, David. Y'all see my yellow flowers right over there? My yellow roses. I put them in a big old vase. Aren't they pretty? Yeah, I do think you should vote. It is very important. It's our God-given liberty. We are not doing an hour show. My parents left me to figure out voting for myself, and I did the same to my children. Well, he couldn't have gone in there with her, I don't think. God knows she would not have let him, even if he could have. Oh, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all what. There's not enough money in the world that nobody could buy this fan from me. I swear, it's the best. Oh, you just turned it on. David. Okay. All right.
Got a little dust up.
Well, although we've come to the end of the road, well, I I can't let go. It's unnatural. You belong to me. I belong to you. Go. Okay. When the show ends today, what are you going to do with the rest of your day before travels? Well,
We're traveling pretty soon, so.
we're traveling pretty soon. David and Rocco are going to go to Atwoods and buy a tarp because we're taking Rocco's truck and we've got to tarp everything because we're going to be driving through some rain. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask y'all. Did one of y'all tell me one time, and I've just forgotten, I pulled a shirt out of the washing machine last night. I'd washed it. And it was covered in what looked like oil stains. But you know they're not because there weren't on there when I put it in there. So maybe it's like detergent stains. Did y'all tell me one time what to do about that? And I've just forgotten.
I don't remember.
Emily Rodden, we've already discussed this, and here's what we said. We are too tightwads to ever dress up. Okay? It's probably detergent. Okay, but what do I do about it? I didn't put in fabric softener. How do I get it off?
Is it another wash? Is it over?
It was liquid detergent. I'm using liquid detergent right now because I poured in my Diva wash with it. Put detergent in before clothes.
What is it?
Why have I never thought of that?
Oh.
I have to because I'm pouring in my Diva wash that makes all my clothes smell so good. Speaking of shirts, I love your new ones. I'm so glad that you mentioned it. Okay, guys, listen to me. Okay. About a year or so ago, David and I were on here saying something stupid, and I was telling the story of how I went to go eat lunch with a girlfriend of mine, and I sat down, and I was running late. The very first thing that I said to her were, okay, I don't have a lot of time for this lunch, but we're going to talk about Jesus and your eyebrows. What's going on there? And everybody started laughing, and that became a shirt. Let's talk about Jesus and your eyebrows. And we sold a buttload of those shirts, and we thought that was hysterical that we would be selling shirts about something so ridiculous, but we did. I told David a year ago, I have an idea for another shirt. And I told him what the idea was, and he didn't care for the idea. He said, I think you're known for being funny, so you should put funny things on a shirt. And I said, I know that, I get that, but I really, I came up with this, kind of in my prayer time, and it really means a lot to me, and I would love to make a shirt about it. Well, it's been 1 year, and I brought it up again a couple of weeks ago. I said, Thanksgiving is coming up. Is there any way that we can make this shirt? And he said, yeah, let's do it. We may sell 2 of them, but let's do it. He doesn't have a ton of belief in this particular shirt, but I do. And it is a shirt that is very simple, and it's a comfort colors, so they're really kind of oversized and comfy and thick. They're nice t-shirts. And also we did it in a sweatshirt, or the highest end sweatshirt that we could find. And all it says is, I'm thankful for every prayer that wasn't answered. I'm thankful for every prayer that wasn't answered. And that statement means so much to me. When I think of that statement, the reason that it ever came to be was because I was writing in my prayer journal one day. And of course I was writing about Remy and Rocco Radke. And how I begged God, let me have children. Please, God, let me have children. I want to have children like everybody else. And then, of course, I begged God, please let Elisha live. Let my son live. Let him live. Let him live. But when I look at those children, all I can think about is I'm so thankful for every prayer that was not answered. He knew better every single time. And it's just really feminine writing. And underneath it's got a little bow, because bows are kind of popular right now. It comes in beautiful colors. You can get the print in white or black. You can get it on seafoam green. You can get it on a black sweatshirt with white writing, which is what I'm getting. But I just absolutely love it. We've put the link up today. I would love it. And also, listen, if you are on my email list, there's going to be an email that's going out in about 20 minutes, and it will also have the link on it. But at this time of year, not only would I love to see you in that sweatshirt, but I would love it if you would post a picture of yourself in it and tell us, what is your unanswered prayer that you're so thankful for? Thank you, God, for the unanswered prayer when I told you I had to marry my high school boyfriend. Like, I want to come up, David, with like a hashtag or something that's like hashtag unanswered prayers, and have people post pictures of themselves in the t-shirt or the sweatshirt, whichever one they get, and what those prayers were. Like, I'd love to know what people's unanswered prayers are. But I say all that to say, this show
was an answer that wasn't prayed about.
was not what I wanted. I said, I will do the show. You can still get Jesus and eyebrows. Yes, girl, you can. And it's in a crew neck. Don't you worry. And Remy Radke wears hers all the time. I told David I would do this show if you think that one day somebody will see it and they'll think I'm funny enough and they'll give me a talk show. I'll do it for that reason. And I'm so thankful for that unanswered prayer. If the only thing that I ever do with my life is love on women, encourage them, make them laugh, give them advice that they did not ask for, and love my husband well in front of them, then that is the sweetest prayer I never knew I always wanted. I was hoping that this would propel me into fame and fortune, but it has propelled me into my purpose, which is to be Jesus with a sense of humor. We have too many people walking the earth who think that Jesus was sour and judgmental, hypocritical, and pointed the finger. And I have always wanted to represent him to the best of my ability, because the Jesus that I know was invited to every single party. He was a good time. People loved him. I'm going to get a picture of him someday. I saw it when I was a little girl, and it's of him with his head back just laughing. And that's how I see him. And I hope in some very small, minor way I got to be that. Even though there were days we fought so bad on here. Do you remember the live we were doing on here with the kids? And I pinched you.
I didn't remember the kids being on there. I remember that.
The kids were on there, and I reached under. He was saying something or doing something, I don't remember. And I pinched him real hard. When I tell y'all that his head spun around and went up into the ceiling, I'm not kidding. But I don't know that anybody saw it. We covered it so well. And there have been so many things that we covered so well on here? Can you think of any? What is a time that I have made you so mad, but we just had to cover it?
I know there's had to be a couple others. That's the only one that jumps out specifically.
Now, I would say that out of 1,200, 1,300 shows, that has happened, what, maybe 3-4 times?
I'm assuming that. Like I said, that's the only one that stands out.
But we have just been very, very real. What you see is what you get. When the cameras are off, this is exactly who we are. I call him David. And I ask him to do stuff for me all the time because I can't get it up because, as my mother says, she's got a bone in her foot. This is who we are. He serves me beautifully. I drive him crazy. But he also runs this house. And he runs me. Thank God that he does. Or I wouldn't know where my pants are on a daily basis. But I think we've done pretty well.
It has been fun. It's amazing how long it's been, if you think about it. And for those that started on Facebook with us and went to the app and then went to
You
YouTube,
followed us so lovely.
Or any point of the way you got on board, we appreciate that, and we're not going away,
right?
We're just going away at this time, and so please make sure use those links in the copy. We mentioned yesterday about the Radke family. You'll be seeing us more in the Radke family.
You'll see us today at 4 Central Standard Time.
There's two. Make sure you're looking at the links. If you're already in the app, there's one link. If you're not, there's another link. Just the way that it's set up. Make sure you're on Melissa's email list. Follow her on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and you'll still get to see a ton of stuff and get to be a part of all the exciting stuff coming up around the corner. But this has been very special. Something we'll always remember fondly.
I would love it if you'd rejoin the family. I think we're going to have so much more time for that. We're not going to feel like we've poured out in the mornings and then we have nothing left. I'll let you know all about the book coming out in the family. You'll know it first. I'll let you know about the podcast coming out. You'll know it first. And we're going to stay connected that way. Y'all, I'm on every platform that you're on, okay? And yes, you have done so well with my sarcasm. We had a very...
Chris said, call me an idiot one more time.
I will. We're not even over yet. I got one more minute. I had a woman who has been so faithful in the family. She's been in the family for so long. On here every single morning. And then she just left. She just left. Because one day, she told me to stop talking about something. And I said, then get your own morning show. You get your own front porch and do your own show. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. She left. And I've always thought that was so strange, and I've missed her. But y'all have allowed me to just be who I am and be sarcastic. And if I call you an idiot, I love you. Unless you're Chris Young, then you're just an idiot because you're a freaking idiot. But y'all...
And I don't know who you're talking about who left. And I really don't care. They're not our people.
But she was our people for a long time. But anyway, it's been so fun, and I've loved having y'all. And Heather, shut up! I'm trying to do something here. Anyway, Barb Mole joined the family again. We've been divinely favored. That's what my mother says. Thank you. Brenda said you never called me an idiot. I call people idiot if I love them, Brenda. I love you. Y'all are wonderful.
You bunch of idiots.
You bunch of knuckleheads. We're going to see each other around. I will see you at 4 o'clock today. But it'll be in the truck with Rumi and Radke and David. It's not going to be a fun one. Everybody's going to be fighting. I just want you to know that. The email's coming out in just a bit about the sweatshirt. Grab one of those. And I wanted to end with a memory. David, do you have a memory? Because I want to end with mine.
No, I would just say, no, I don't want to because I'll be emotional. I was just going to say the very first episode. Because
Why would you be emotional about that?
Because it wasn't like we had a plan, you know.
So then say it.
I just did.
I wanted to end with this, with two things. The first one is the Shep Shuttle will forever be what can happen when women band together. The Shep Shuttle, he's wiping his eyes. The Shep Shuttle is what can happen when women say, oh, we'll help somebody out. And my heart was so broken after I lost that dog. And then all the women got together and they said, how can we love on Melissa and make sure she gets what she needs? And it started with Mary Leslie Holder going and picking him up at the groomer and passing him off to Jana, and Jana passing him off, and Tanya passing him off until he got to me. We called it the Shep Shuttle, but it's really just a love train is what it was, wasn't it, Shepherd? Hey. It was really just a love train. And you brought me my tiny best friend. And for that
might have been the first time we met Mandy and Danica too.
And for that, we're going to end with this. We're here for you each and every day, but especially on Wednesdays. We're here for you each and every day, but especially on Wednesdays. But especially on Wednesdays. I love y'all.